Hey guys, welcome back. For those that are coming back and for those that are new here, my name is Laura and today is day 3 of Cloth Diaper Week and the theme for today is overnight solutions. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we use for overnight currently and then if we started cloth overnight from the beginning. So let's jump right into what we use for overnight for Grace. Now, we have a couple of different things and it's like a variety of things. We mix and match things. So bear with me here. The first thing that we'll talk about are pre-flats. So we use pre-flats overnight for Grace and we obviously wrap these around Grace and we boost them with a trifold. So I actually make both of these. So these are my own brand, but this is what we use. This is one of our options for overnight diapering. Now, when you want to put the trifold in a pre-flat, you can open the pre-flat up. Here we go. And you can stick the trifold right on in here on top, or you could stick the trifold, sorry guys, if you open this completely up, you can stick the trifold right on in the middle there. Wrap it around and wrap it right on baby. So that is how we use the pre-flat overnight. Super simple, something that gets wrapped around baby. So you have 360 absorbency there. And then another option we use is the Green Mountain Diapers. This is the large pre-fold. So what we do is we also wrap this around Grace. So we'll bring the sides in here. Keep this back open, and with the large pre-fold we just add one of the Green Mountain Diapers, the long hemp doublers. We'll add the long hemp doubler right in here and then we will wrap this up around Grace, and that is another one of our overnight options. Now when we are wrapping things around Grace like the pre-fold or the pre-flat, we will often use a wool cover over top of the absorbency. And I love wool because it just gives you that extra peace of mind. So that is one of our options for if we're wrapping anything around Grace. Now, we also have options where we don't wrap them around Grace. And that would be, we have here a large Green Mountain Diapers Bird's Eye Flat. And when we use the large Bird's Eye Flat, we also boost with the trifold. So what I do is I open this on up, it's just pad folded, stick this right in the middle here, fold it on back up, and there it is, still in a pad fold. So this is one of our options for if we're not wrapping something around Grace. Another option that we have if we're not wrapping around Grace would be the Green Mountain Diapers medium-sized pre-fold. And those are actually in the wash right now, but we would do the same thing. So medium pre-fold, we would throw this trifold in the middle there. And then what I like to do, actually what we do currently is, we never used to do this before. We will use a fleece stay dry liner. So even if we're wrapping something around Grace now, I add one of these. It's not my favorite to add. I would love to have something more of a natural fiber. So I actually have the silk ones from Green Mountain Diapers in my cart currently because, like I said, I just want something more natural against Grace. Nothing bad about these. It's just a personal preference. But whenever we're putting an overnight diaper on Grace now, we always add a stay dry liner because it seems like when she's getting wet now, she wakes up. So these are what we add to all of her diapers, but I wanted to show you something in particular. So when we pad fold either the pre-fold or the flat, so again, that's what that looks like. We stick the stay dry liner on top and I stick it in the middle here, and I'll show you why in a second. So when we're not wrapping the absorbency around Grace and we're just pad folding, I am not someone who really prefers covers with double flaps. As you guys might be able to hear, I really love wrapping absorbency around Grace. And when I do wrap absorbency around Grace, I prefer not to have the flaps here. It's just a personal preference thing. But with overnight and her waking up when she's feeling wet, I prefer the double flaps. And I'm going to show you how I put this in here. So I'll put it in here like this. Put this in the back here. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, the thing that's up against Grace is that Stay Dry liner. So why I love the double flaps here. So when the pee is going to be traveling through the flat, Grace is not going to be able to feel the wetness, number one, with the Stay Dry liner on top, but also if we just had one with no flaps, the pee could travel up to the top here and she would still feel it. So that is why I love the flaps on the covers, specifically because it's keeping this Stay Dry liner, the thing that is staying right against Grace, and Grace is not going to feel the wet flat against her, but has that Stay Dry lining right up against her. Same down here. So that is one scenario where I do prefer the double flaps. So those are some of our overnight solutions. Now, did we cloth diaper overnight from the start? We did not. So we didn't even start cloth diapering Grace. I forget even how old she was at this point, but we did not start from the very beginning newborn phase. We started, I would say she was around 2 to 3 months old when we started. But as soon as we did start cloth diapering, we did start using them overnight. But I have to say, cloth diapering overnight has changed tremendously from stage to stage. So when we first started cloth diapering overnight, Grace was okay in a diaper with no tummy panel. But we quickly learned that Grace would need a tummy panel as soon as she started sleeping on her stomach. And then from there, we added diapers with tummy panels, but then we were only using 2 inserts at night. And I think they were like 4-layer inserts or something, and it just wasn't cutting it. So through all of the different stages, our cloth diapering overnight has kind of evolved, and it's looked very different in so many different stages. So I am super curious what you guys use overnight, and I want to say that if you use disposables overnight and you use cloth during the day, there is no harm in that. Cloth diapering is not all or nothing. I don't think that's said frequently enough. Cloth diapering is not all or nothing. If you cloth diaper during the day and you feel more comfortable using a disposable at night, then you use that disposable at night. You do what is best for your family, and I am so curious as to what you guys use at night. What is your overnight solution? Leave them down below in the comments. And guys, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that if you haven't seen, I believe Ashley from Crust on Tuesdays is doing her cloth diaper week over on TikTok, and I know she shared it on Instagram as well. Lena's Life here on YouTube is who started this, so make sure to go follow her. And I believe the cloth diaper review is also posting on Instagram, so make sure to go follow her as well. I'm not quite sure who else might be doing this, so make sure to keep an eye out and follow everybody along that's doing it, because there's a lot of good information out there from so many different people. So I will see you guys soon.